Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to We Are Athletes 2. Today, as y'all can see, we have another guest with us, Mr. Garrett Jester out of George Ranch as well.
Yes, you got it.
George Ranch High School in Richmond, Texas.
Richmond, Texas, but I live in Sugar Land, Texas. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Listen, down in Houston, they just do it different down there.
Hey, we just clump a bunch of little bitty parts from different cities together and call it a school.
Facts, big facts. Okay, listen, we pushed it back so that you could be on the pod this specific week, and look at why we've done it. We wanted to make sure that the Texas Rangers were 2-0 against the Houston Astros before we got you on the
Ah,
pod.
you know, you know, we've been here before. We what's the seventh straight ALCS?
Yes, yep.
Now we're on the road. We've been hot on the road all year. Scherzer hasn't pitched in forever. Game three tomorrow is a perfect get back game. I will say losing game two definitely took every bit of uh, dude, we got this. You lose that looking like we did. Not great, not great.
Yeah.
Leaving runners on,
Well,
just
and what's crazy too is I thought starting pitching would be kind of y'all's I won't say strong suit, but that's been your go-to this in your 7-year reign of going to the AL.
absolutely.
Your pitching has been what's got you there. And I don't think Verlander didn't look bad by any means.
No,
Fromber looked terrible. Um, but your
but
bullpen
that's
came in.
how he's looked all the second half.
Yes, that's
You
true.
take out that no hitter, I mean, he's been absolute dog water this entire since the All Star break.
And if you remember, the whole fight and everything that happened between us in that series was because we
Yeah.
were shelling Fromber as well. Um, and
Yep.
Simeon did his little hop, skip, jump thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, we were shelling Fromber then too. So I think we've kind of had his number this year. Um, but yeah,
I
man,
feel like
it's
everybody has though. I mean, he did it against the Twins last series. Like
yep,
this,
yep.
I don't know if we get it to Game Six, there's no way he pitches. Like you can't have that,
Yeah.
especially if it's a winner. Especially if it's 3-2 y'all at that point. There's no way.
Who are y'all throwing tomorrow?
Christian Javier.
Okay. That I mean, that's a solid number three that
That's
you could
best case scenario for us.
and you could easily move him up to Fromber's role or Fromber's
Oh
spot
yeah.
on what would that be, Saturday?
It, Sunday.
Sunday? Yeah. So it just depends. You'll have to watch pitch count and stuff, I guess, for that tomorrow, just to see. But if he's hot, you gotta ride him like usual. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, what he on like second, third person to throw a no hitter in the World Series.
yeah, yep. Yeah, he's got it in him. He's got that dog in him.
A playoff all season, all regular season, he's been shaky, but playoffs come, dude is nails, and
Yeah,
that gets you a good spot on our team.
yeah, for sure. And I gotta give this guy credit. Um, Man, I knew Yordan Alvarez was a decent baseball player, but gosh damn, man, he has turned it.
That guy,
I mean, even coming in sick, dude, he's got a little stomach bug he's dealing with.
Jordan flu game.
Oh, he just,
I
I mean,
called it before
comes
easily.
comes in two tanks yesterday. Didn't he have a tank the day before too? Like, how?
No,
Just two yesterday?
he went he went 0 for on Sunday
That's
game
right.
I went to. My bad, Astro Nation. I am 1-8 in Astro games that I've been to since I've been in college.
Holy
It's on
cow.
me for showing up.
No, big facts though. I don't think I can go to the last Ranger game I went to, was at the new stadium and everything. We're playing the Yankees, and me and my buddy were like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's go." Corey Kluber was on the mound for the Yankees right after he had just right at the literally the season after we had signed him to a 1-year deal. First start, he tears his UCL. And he's comes back the next year and he's pitching for the Yankees. He fucking no hit us. I
I
was
rem- back.
I would
I
so
remember seeing that on your Snapchat, being
oh
like, "Damn,
I swore to myself I would never go to another meaningful game again. Like I just couldn't put myself through it again.
yeah."
Oh man. All right, let's talk about you. Let's get into your story. We've got our little baseball spiel. What's the score in the Phillies game right now, you know?
I have no idea. I don't get any like Turner Sports Network, so been watching some Puck.
Understood. Okay, yeah. That'll be part of your story. We'll have to definitely mention
Oh
that.
yeah.
But yeah, give it to us, tell us about growing up, what sports you played, and then hit us with the high school journey and everything.
So yeah, my name is Garrett Jester. I'm from Sugar Land, Texas, Rosenberg, Texas, Richmond, Texas. It's all kind of the same thing. Same little area down here in Southwest Houston. Uh, I grew up playing pretty much every sport you could think of, but I there between football and hockey, there were no other sports that came close to how much I love those. Just how hot it was down here, getting in there playing hockey every day of the week, absolutely. And then just the no, like you understand it coming from Allen. There's always pressure when you're a football player down here. Playing hockey, it was just out there for fun, flying around, hitting some people every now and then. As a big guy, that was always some fun. But yeah, my sophomore year of high school rolled around, and my football coach told me, "We don't want you playing hockey anymore. Don't need you to get hurt." I got hurt in middle school playing hockey, broke my ankle, and only injury I ever had playing sports was that. So pretty good run for me there, but probably some concussions. But
I'm adding Jack real quick.
okay,
Second, let him connect real quick. Jackie boy,
My apologies. I was making a pizza.
you're good.
Jackie G, what's good?
What's up, Jasty? Look at this fire ass pizza I just made.
Oh,
Mm,
Damn,
look at you
mm.
being.
Chef Boyardee Jackie.
Well, look at you
Yeah,
being
you like that?
little special with it. No, I was expecting an all meat or something.
I was
It's got some
expecting like one of
pepperoni. It's got
those
some pepperoni and ham
Lunchable
on it. All right, it's
pizzas.
just covered by the cheese.
Hey, go off then.
Solid,
All right,
Yep.
solid.
Jaster's giving his story, so I'll throw it back to him. He's talking about his hockey experience in middle school and working his way
Oh
up.
hell yeah!
Oh yeah. So yeah, got to 10th grade and varsity coach told me like he had known that I got hurt back in middle school playing it and he didn't want me to have that happen again. So he told me, I want you to quit. Like I'm not gonna force you to, but I'm not gonna force you to get some playing time here either. So one of those, you know, football will probably take me further than hockey will. So we went with that and rode that out. I didn't play too much my sophomore year. I'm a young guy. Like I was one of those kids that they could have had to another year of kindergarten or do what I did and just kept going because I was smart enough to keep doing it. So I was always a young kid. They always wanted me to develop there, and so played all 11 games my junior year. Uh, we were average, like normal, kind of like a trend wherever I went. We were just, eh. So, yeah, I will say most memorable thing about that season, we were playing Clear Lake High School in the first round of the playoffs. Big drive, we're down like three, I want to say, in the fourth, uh, and call a pass. Outside linebacker comes off the edge and makes a sack. It was the running back's guy. And so we got back to the sideline and we're like, dude, like what happened? Running back tells us he hurdled, like the outside linebacker hurdled him. I'm like, bro, there's no way. 5-star number 4 outside linebacker, prospect in the country. Yes, he hurdled right over our 5'5" running back and made a sack. Went to Georgia. Yeah. So seeing that on film was very enlightening that I will never go and play at the FBS level if there are guys like that out there. So anyways, after that year, I got offered by Texas Southern, HBCU here in Houston. Their O-line coach really liked me, and so play my senior year. I don't get any other offers. I get a couple preferred walk-ons from Rice, Boston College, places I can't go because we don't have money like that.
Yeah.
So it came down to, all right, well, Texas Southern's my only real offer. Gonna take my official there, kind of see how that goes. Their coaches got fired like 2 weeks into January. Uh, so I'm scrambling to find anything I can at that point. I'm supposed to go to the USA football little thing they were doing. I ended up getting staph in my arm, and I am in the hospital and can't go. So, like Monday and Tuesday of that week, I get out like Tuesday to go to school, whatever. And I'm start backpedaling, and I hear that my buddy Carson was coming up here to Old Tech on a visit, and the offensive line coach at the time, I don't know if we're name dropping names, so I probably won't, but
It was he's on the East Coast now, right?
no, he's up in I think Western Illinois now.
Yes. Yes. Okay, we're thinking of the
Yeah,
same person. Yes.
yes. So he was at Texas State originally as a GA, and he really liked me there. And so I had seen that he had gone there to Tech too, and I reached out and I was like, "Hey, my buddy's coming up for his official visit this week. Is it cool if I tag along?" And he had said, like, we don't have any official like spots left, but if you come up here for an unofficial, like, absolutely, you're more than welcome. So last ditch effort to get something, we go up there. I never got an official visit anywhere at this point. I go in there, meet old headman at the time, and he sees my big ass in there, bigger than every other O lineman they brought in, and was like, yeah, we got some money for you for sure. So that was the only Division II offer I had because oddly enough, I had gone up to Tech before. Me and Carson went up there in 2017 for some camp, and the O line coach at the time, Coach Milam,
Yep.
he had straight up told me like, hey, like you're gonna be a FCS guy for sure. If anything happens, like you're more than welcome to just come here, like, and we'll uh take it with open arms. I'm like, sweet, like that's cool to hear. And so that's how I ended up going there to old Arkansas Tech. And oddly enough, for like my school not being like great other than our freshman year of high school, uh like no Division II schools ever like came through to recruit. I think West Texas and Midwestern came the year before me. There was not a single Division II school that came like there. We had a Texas defensive end and a Utah corner, and they drew like all the big guys that would come for that. But we got all the D3s around there, around Texas that Carson was talking about, and yeah, no. So when it came down to it, like Arkansas Tech was really the only option that benefited me in any way, and so I committed. And I kid you not, like 3 hours after I posted my like commitment thing on Twitter, a coach from Southern Missouri is in my DMs saying, whatever Tech is giving you, will double it, if not triple it.
Oh wow.
And my little dumb loyal ass is over here. No, I'm sorry. Y'all should have offered me before I committed. Da, da, da.
Good for you.
Man,
Told him
man,
to fuck
it
off.
wasn't good for me. Turning down almost 3 times the amount of money I was getting. I wasn't
Well,
getting like any athletic money at the start.
and Moso was I'm trying to think. At the time, they were not great, but they were kind of on the
I
uprise.
looked back, like, I think it was my junior year. I kind of looked back. I'm like, damn, like, whatever happened to them? Like, I wonder if they just went on and like we're like right behind Northwest this entire time, and I'm just sitting here like 3-8, 4-7, struggling down here. And I mean, they were like, I think they were the same thing, like 4-7 a lot.
Yeah,
I
they
think
did
they got
not.
like a win stripped in 2019 or something.
Yeah, for I think an ineligible player that they had played or something. They
Like, uh, I'm sorry, getting a win strip against either Northeast or God, what was that other dog shit school in MIAA?
Lincoln.
Lincoln. Yeah, getting a win strip against them, that's bad.
Yeah,
That's real bad.
that's tough. They no, their whole staff was a new staff. I want to say it was a Garden City staff. So they came in and they brought a quarterback that was at Cade likes to tell that story. He was at Georgia, then Iowa State, and then randomly at this JUCO because he got kicked out of school. And then this coach was like, "Yeah, you're going to come with me to Missouri Southern." So I I'm not really sure how, but they were good for a little bit. They were very competitive, but they I don't think they ever won more than 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I don't think they did. Like, so I guess yeah, either one, pick your poison. I
Yeah,
was at least close enough for my parents to come to the games here, so not too bad.
true.
Where would
Very
you be now, Jack, going for Arkansas Tech? Lord
If it
knows.
wasn't for Arkansas Tech, I probably would have either gone to Texas State or UH as a student and tried to walk on. Like D3 ball, I respect it. You go out there and play it, but like I had my parents set up something where I could go to like any state school for free as long as I was above like a 3 point GPA. And so I probably would have just done that and tried to walk on at that point. But
You wouldn't trade anything in the world for your days at in old Russellville, would you?
oh, Las Vegas, man. Honestly, I wouldn't. Like as bad as were as a team, like man, some of the funniest moments of my life
Yeah,
there.
I had fun. Russellville was fun looking back at it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like no expectations. We were a glorified junior college, and it was so fun.
Dude, the day I knew that is when we played SWASU there, and their fans were trying to fight us on the way out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I knew
We
in
were so
2019 that week of practice was bad.
Oh, I wish Cade was on here. We have a good story. But old Doug Roos.
shout
And
out to
then
that
just
Doug.
the funniest players in the world. My guy Monte Tony. Oh my god, my guy. I love him. There was always something,
What a
always something.
freak
How
athlete.
old is
How
Uh,
old?
is he
he? He's old.
27?
He
Is
might
he
be your age, Jack.
Nah, he's older than I am. I remember talking to him one time when we were in Baz, and he was like, "No, yeah, I'm like, I graduated high school in like 2015." I was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, because you got to remember
Dude,
he took I think he took a year or two off before he
yeah,
actually
he
went to
did it.
school.
Okay.
I think he's like,
I was gonna say Gage Porter might have some competition there.
yeah, for real. He might be 25, 6, I think Monte is.
Yeah, I think he's 26, 27 actually. He's
Maybe. We lived
and,
in the dorm
and
one
I was about
year.
to say and
One year.
he's playing. He's playing still. So good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, he is.
Name of his school? Kaiser. Yeah.
Kaiser. Yep.
I think so.
Yeah. They're pretty
Okay.
good, actually.
Give us one of your funniest stories that you remember from Arkansas Tech.
Oh, wait, wait,
Oh
wait.
man.
Starts talking. The funniest one was whenever to me that I like this is my like the point when I remembered Jasper for forever was whenever we were warming up. I guess it was my first year at fall camp at Tech after I left MC. Golden is out there like making names for everybody
Oh yeah.
on
I
there.
remember this.
Probably fucking up one of the stretches, and Golden's like, "What the fuck are you doing, windshield wipers?" And I fucking lost my mind. It was so
See,
funny.
my favorite golden moment was whenever well, okay, for me, like he came up to me and I don't know, we were doing squats or something, and he was just God, you fucking accountant. He had no idea what major I was or anything. And so me and Luke Curtis just start dying laughing. And he was all mad, like, what's so funny? And I'm like, I'm actually an accounting major. And even he like cracked a smile. I'm like, damn, I know I made it when I can make Coach Gold laugh.
Oh, he is the best like nickname maker of all time.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
windshield wipers. I completely forgot about that. That's fucking hilarious.
He called one
Back in
kid
the day.
one kid like Ichabod Crane or something like that, and that was
I know exactly who you're talking about.
yeah, that was hilarious.
He had some crazy off the rails nicknames. My favorite Golden story. It was my first lift, and I don't remember who I was even lifting with. It was with the red shirts or whatever. Back when Monaco was still there. It's our first lift in there, and we're doing incline, and we had never done incline. Like I was like, what are we doing? But the kid was like, yeah, one plate on each side is too much. Even though Golden had told us, hey, you're doing one plate. It was that freshman workout type shit. Like he's making sure you know how much you can lift. So this kid was like, it's too light. So he put two plates on. And we were like, okay, like, what are you doing, bro? Like he told us one. So Golden comes over and the kid's struggling to get it up on his last rep. And he racks it. And Golden looks at him and goes, hey, motherfucker, did I fucking tell you to put two plates on? And he comes over. I shit you not. He comes over, rips the clip off, throws the plate on the ground, and says, pick it up, motherfucker, and do one plate.
Pick it up.
I, bro, that was the last time I ever lifted with that kid. And that was the last time I ever tried to fuck something up in the weight room.
Yeah,
He says, "Do some weight." Yep, I'm doing that weight. Yup.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
yeah, you never tried to big dick it, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, no.
No, unless he knows you can handle it, you are not allowed to big dick anything in that weight room.
He called somebody an Ozzy Osbourne looking motherfucker one time. That one cracked me up. I think he got Alex Chambers pretty good one time because he came in there wearing like a cut off Arkansas shirt. But I don't know we'd have to have Carter on here to tell the whole story.
We have a lot of weight room
just
stories too.
we got a lot of everything stories.
True. Okay, hit us.
I don't think anything was funnier. My first week of like summer workouts, my workout partner, old McCoy, and this is before they were like not cool. It was because it was his first week there too, and so. But the workout where they started to not like each other, yeah, I was his partner for that. Me as a little 17-year-old just sitting there shaking in fear as Golden's. I'm afraid he's about to like throw the damn bar at somebody.
Jazzer's cowering in fear of Golden. Please no.
Hell yeah, I'm 17 years old. I came from a weight program where it was, all right, guys, just throw a lot of weight on there and do a rep or two.
Yeah. I'm surprised
I think
none of the D2 schools coming on to Houston. It's pretty surprising.
Well, there's not
many.
Yeah,
no. Like,
is that just like a pretty good hike from all the D2 schools?
Yeah, like we're not close to any around there. Like I want to say A&M Kingsville is probably the closest.
Yeah, Kingsville,
and that's 4.
Yeah.
Everything else, West Texas A&M, Angelo State, Commerce at the time, like those are all pushing 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know 2 kids that played at D2 schools down here that I played against, and that was it. Like everybody else, you went D1, JUCO, D3, and then I know a couple other kids that ended up at D2s, but not straight out of high school. So,
Well, and I'll say too, I know you had mentioned the Texas Southern offer, and that being an HBCU. I would like to point out that Jester is white, but he would have 100%. He would 100% have fit in at an HBCU and had no troubles there, no problems whatsoever. He'd have been the one white guy on the team and you were gonna play at that school, I guarantee it. But he'd have been the one white guy there, and everyone would have been like, "Isn't that an HBCU?" And it'd been like, once you meet Jaster, you're fine. You'd understand.
Yeah. And I definitely could have played there. I'm sorry. I went on 2 like game visits. One, like their first game of the year, they were playing UT Permian Basin.
Mm-hmm.
That game came down to a touchdown.
And that was when Permian Basin really wasn't that good either.
I think like they were maybe just starting out.
Yeah, they might have been even transitioning from NAIA.
I think so.
good in D2, like right now, because they're pretty
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, they are pretty good now.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, like just so bad. I understand why their coaches got fired. Like, but they didn't get any better with the new coaches. So still got some soul searching to do there.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Okay, best football memory, whether high school or college.
I mean, my freshman year of high school, we won state. I didn't play, obviously, but still, that was a really cool thing. But me playing wise, uh, it's got to be one of those walk off field goals against Wazoo. Those were
Those were good.
those were great. Like in high school, there was not
Wasn't
much.
there a story, Jester? Wasn't there a good story about the one last year about y'all on the field goal team or something?
So okay, the first year it happened. Now that it's happened 3 years, so the first year it happened, me and Cam are out there, and I mean, this dude is probably like 6 or 7 inches away from blocking it, coming right between me and Cam.
Yeah.
So we both are like, we finally like, okay, he didn't block it, whatever, we're good. So when last year rolled around, and me and Cam, like that entire driving down there, we were like, dude, like this is just too similar. Like it's gonna end up being the same thing. Sure enough, like damn near the same yard line, same hash. And we're like, dude, whatever we do, they can't block it. Okay. That like no shot. And me and Cam both held his ass because he was about to come right through there and block it again. And so we see it bounce off the damn post and go in. First thing I do is look for a damn flag because I'm like, we might have to kick this fucker again, and this will not be good this time around. No flag. I see Trayon running down their sideline with his helmet off. And I'm like, man, what a way to go out at Phone Stadium.
It was great. Y'all were hitting the old arm lock on his ass.
I was holding, like, Cam was to the left of me. And so my left arm is grabbing that dude's, like, the left side of his pads. Cam's hands on the other side, grabbing the right side of his pads. It looked so bad on film. Even, like, every coach was like, yeah, no, that definitely should have been holding. And, oh well.
Dude, Kyle Schwarber is hitting nukes right now. He's hit his second home run of the game.
That's 3 in 2 games then.
Yeah, he's hitting bombs. 427 feet.
Georgie, if I'm you, I'd be scared to play the fight.
No, I want them because our pitching is going to feed them what they don't want. And that'll change the batter too.
That's gonna be a damn good World Series if it's Rangers Phillies.
I tell you what though, I mean, I give the Diamondbacks credit. They had a game plan going in and they're fucking sticking with it, aren't they?
They're not giving up easy.
Oh no. But
They'll,
I mean,
they'll win some games in Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah.
I mean, Zach Gallen's had a really good year. Probably going to be the NL Cy Young guy. And then who they
Merrill Kelly's been dealing.
Merrill Kelly tonight. But their game plan coming in was to throw lefties inside. Schwarber said thank you very much on the first pitch yesterday, and so did Bryce Harper. So, I mean, it looks like they're not changing that mantra right there.
Yeah, they're tattooing him pretty good right now with the home runs. Like 90% of the home run or of the runs in the series right now are off of home runs.
Yeah.
All 3 today are bombs.
Well, who hit? Schwarber hit one yesterday. Harper hit one, and Castellanos hit one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. Okay, Jaster, one last thing that I want to touch on. So, being from Texas, hockey is stupid expensive. It's hard to get ice time. It's hard to find equipment. It's hard to find sticks, pads. You being a bigger guy, it's hard to find them in your size. One, how did you get into hockey? And 2, why hockey?
So it's actually funny you say like it's hard and expensive to get stuff because I've been trying to get back into it. There is no helmet on the internet that can fit my big ass head. I had to go and get one like custom made, like custom measurements sent in to get a helmet. And I'm like, I just like I get it's like an investment thing and like I can always wear it, but like man, right out of college, I don't know if that's an investment I'm ready to make yet. We might have to put that down in a few years of okay, I'll drive all the way up to Dallas to get it done. It's not like it's here in Houston either.
Yeah.
But no, so growing up, there was a my mom was a she worked for a dentist and there was a ice rink down here in Sugarland, right maybe like 5 minutes from our office. And my daycare was like right next to it, like also. So they'd have us go over there and just like kill time at daycare and stuff. And like I said, it gets really damn hot. And my parents, I played soccer for like 1 year. My dad said, "Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with this shit." And they signed me up for ice skating lessons.
Tommy sport.
And I was ice skating at age 3. Like I could skate before I run. That's why I run weird. Like I every like coach I had in high school made fun of how I ran, and it was because of I say high school, college too, but it was because I could ice skate before I could run. And so yeah, I really loved doing it. My parents loved being in an ice rink, and so we kept doing it. And I played travel hockey when I was little, like second and third grade. And at that level, you're only like playing in Texas. Like we would drive up to Dallas for a tournament, San Antonio, Austin, like that. But once you get older, you start going to like Oklahoma, Louisiana. I think had a tournament in Florida, and yeah, like we just couldn't afford to do that. With me, my parents gave me a choice at age 9. They said you can either keep playing travel hockey and have fun and all that, or you can still play like regular. We call it in house, and it's just like you just play around here in the Houston area. You can do that and play football. And obviously, I'm like, oh, why not both? Like, I'll play hockey and football. So competitiveness went down a lot. And at that point, like, you do the competitive scene for anything for a certain amount of time, you get ahead of the curve for a lot of people. So naturally, just over time, like I was pretty good at it compared to other people around here. Obviously, not the kids that kept playing all the travel and all that. But for the other kids that kind of just stayed around here, like I was half decent. I was always big, strong. I could shoot. Nobody really would hit my big ass. So,
No fights.
actually, like I had played all the way up until high school. My first high school game, which my high school team sucked too, but so I'm playing for Seven Lakes High School. My first shift out there, like I start the game. Our coach was really big on just like getting everybody experience and stuff. And then when it got to playoffs, obviously the guys that were better played more. But so my first shift, it might be like 20, 25 seconds into it. We get a shot on their goal. There's a fight that breaks out. Yeah, like I'm sitting there. I was 14. They had a freshman out there too. I kind of just skated up to him and acted like we were doing something. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are they doing? Are we fighting already? Like, damn. I mean, like they had a kid on their team that went on and played juniors. Like they were a really good team. And so like next time we played them, I kind of knew what to expect and went after ass. And so I mean, it was a learning curve for sure. But it taught me a lot of good things. Hand-eye coordination was always really good. And then just the stamina wise, like I was always in good shape just from playing hockey, even though it's a lot of gliding around, like just the burst of energy. It was perfect for being an offensive lineman. Like you go hard for 4 or 5 seconds and stop, kind of glide around a little bit and then do it again. So no, it was honestly, it was a great sport. as an offensive lineman to do. And I mean, if I'm definitely gonna have my kid play it in the future, even if it is, financially hard. Like my parents had to get stuff ordered in from Canada, stuff like that, just because we don't have much down here, especially when our AHL team, the Houston Aeros, left. The NHL was not a big fan of Les Alexander, and they told him he couldn't get an NHL team while he had an AHL team. So he sold the AHL team, and the NHL said, fuck you, and didn't give him an NHL team.
Do you
And
think
now we have nothing.
do you think Houston could support an NHL team?
I think he could. You see it with these other teams, Vegas, like the Panthers, whenever they're good, like people will show up, but they're never good for more than like a year. So it's hard to build a fan base. You look at Tampa, you constantly put out a good product. Vegas, you constantly put out a good product. People are going to show up and build, like, get, attached to it.
Hmm.
The Arrows would play in the same building as the Rockets. And I mean, that place was packed most, like, weekends. Like, absolutely. Like, no one's going to, a Tuesday, go to watch an AHL team play. Like, not really. But Saturdays, that place was not quite as packed as the Rockets were, but I mean, the Rockets were not good back then. And I mean, there were definitely times I saw more people at an Arrows game than at a Houston Rockets game.
Do y'all have a bunch of like, which I know you said you had the one AHL team. Do y'all have any minor league teams? Do y'all have a lot of rinks down there?
We have, when I was growing up, there was one in Sugarland, which is Southwest Houston. There's one out in Southeast Houston in, we called it Space City, but it was like League City area, almost League City Houston. That's kind of how it got its name. Uh, Memorial, which is kind of closer to inside Houston, it's a mall and they have a really nice rink. There's a shittier rink, probably shittier area, easily like the best rink in Houston, probably like 20 minutes down the highway, like into Houston from where I'm at. And then there's one on the north side. I mean, yeah, there's the Galleria has ice rink. We never played at the Galleria, but those other five, like, there's a decent amount. And when the Arrows were here, they practiced at this rink out here in Sugarland.
Well, and
And so
that's impressive too, because
we,
it honestly sounds like you have close to, if not more, than there are in the DFW area. And we have the stars. We
yeah,
have
I mean, like, I don't think they're not as nice as the Dr. Pepper Star Centers up there, but the Stars do a lot of building hockey there in Dallas. And so that's why it's been so successful up there. That's why they've been as good as they've been for attendance and stuff like that. And that's why the hockey scene up there is as good as it is. I mean, I know 3 or 4 kids that I played with when I was little that moved up to Dallas to play hockey so they could get looked at to play minors and stuff like that. So one of these days, there's going to be an NHL kid that comes from the Texas area that'll be damn good, like Austin Matthews is for Arizona.
yeah. Yeah,
I know what
that'll be
I
big
want
time.
to give us a hockey demonstration coming out that hallway behind him.
No, I don't know about any of that. I
Get
do
stick out and do a little gliding.
sticks around in the garage. Otherwise, I probably would.
Oh,
But
shit.
I still got some old jerseys back in the closet.
All right, let's hop into some scores like usual. You good to stick around for scores, Jester?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go look at last week's D1 games. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Shit.
Sweet. All right, so we talked about the first 3 games on the pod last week. If y'all see me looking around, I'm trying to make sure I don't get pulled up on by campus police. I'm just sitting in the middle of SAU's campus. Um, so I had a fair here, got finished, and now we're here.
You
West
had,
Virginia. You said what?
you had an affair there?
No, just a space fair, you bastard.
Got him.
West Virginia, Houston, absolutely bonkers game.
Go
What
Cougs, baby. Man, what a game.
no,
Who would have thought that
what a
UH's
shit game.
first Big 12 win would come in that fashion?
What a shit game. West Virginia scores with what 12
12.
seconds left, and there's like how the fuck do you give that up? They squib kick it. There's a 15-yard penalty, so when they squib kick it, they're kicking it from the 20. They get the ball, run one play, and then Hail Mary, Tutter, Houston beats West Virginia. Like, what in the utter fuck, man?
Honestly, I thought there was no way Houston would get a Big 12 win this year with how, like, those new teams, it'll take a while for them to get acclimated for football in specific. Like every other sport, it's not as hard, but football, it definitely takes some time. I easily thought that Houston was the worst of the new four coming in. But man, being the first one to get a win against the original Big 12 team, that'll be big for the program for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Big time there for old Dana Holgerson.
Well, that's another topic. He needs to go. No one in Houston wants him there.
Hey, I mean, getting a win against his old school though, and getting the first one,
Oh, I'm sure it meant a lot.
yeah, big props for him. We'll look. I mean, god damn, Colorado. I talked so fucking highly of Dion just for you to go piss down your fucking leg against Stanford. And I have labeled Stanford the worst team in D1 football. You fuckers.
It's like Hawaii.
Like, damn, man. That's just a and you know what? It was a 9 o'clock kickoff. No one gave a fuck. You could have won the game and we'd all gone to bed happy. But I have to wake up the next morning to see you lost in double overtime to Stanford.
The Stanford guys doing the stupid watch shit. I mean, that was cracking me up.
With absolutely nothing on their wrist.
Yeah.
Just
So funny.
bad, man. Um, as far as D1 games go or bigger games go on Saturday, Georgia rolls again. A little bit closer there. I don't think they covered, did they, Jack?
No, not even close. It was like a 32-point spread.
Did not cover. FSU puts up a decently big number. Penn State puts up a big number, and I think they lose a spot in the polls. Um, Washington, Oregon did live up to the hype. Really good game. Michael Penix, I think, solidified. He's a legit Heisman contender with that win too.
I
Oh, I
think it
USC,
wish
was more
Cole
than
Hogs.
Heisman. I think it catapults him in draft conversation for sure.
yeah, I think so too. I think he sneaks into a late first round type of guy now. Because you got to think Drake May, Caleb Williams,
Caleb Williams.
who else is in there?
I mean, those are the only two I would put above him.
Yeah, yeah, Bo Nix and Michael Penix are really making a case to be fringe
Definitely.
first round guys, and it depends on their combine stuff too. But yeah, that's
When
it.
is
That's
Jaden gonna go? Is he done this year?
who.
Jaden Daniels, LSU.
I think he's got one more year. I think he's a junior. He might be a sophomore actually.
Hmm.
Um, Notre Dame gets a big win against USC. Caleb Williams only threw for 199, so you can see why they lost.
And like 3 picks.
Yep.
Nah.
I think
Arkansas.
we knew that it was going to happen sooner or later, that their defense would show how bad they truly, or how much it truly is holding them back from being a great team.
Yep. Yep. I mean, Alex Grinch is still their DC, and as long as he was the DC with Lincoln at Oklahoma. Like I get loyalty, but at some point you got to realize the production's not there, fam. How about your pigs, Jaster? Tell us about University of Arkansas and that Alabama game.
Well, I'll tell you what. I as soon as the game started, I went off and got my golf club fixed because I did not want to see a blowout. I get back and it's a fairly decent game, but I mean it's typical Arkansas. They just want to give you hope before they just rip it away from you. So you walk away. Oh, we almost beat Bama. That was probably like the worst Bama's played all year, including their loss to Texas.
Yeah,
So
they didn't look very good late. But they found a way to grind it out there towards the end when y'all needed a stop, unfortunately.
I will say KJ Jefferson. It was a lot of questions with decision making. Oh my God, dude is a hell of a player. At the end of the day, just making shit happen when it needs to happen.
Yeah, that's a pure athlete.
Well, and it feels like y'all don't know how you actually want to play. You don't know how you want to use KJ. You don't know how you want to recruit. The offensive line is probably the worst it's been in a while. It just feels like not a lot of things are there, but there's definitely some pieces. So it gives you that hope that you're talking about.
Yeah, like when you have Pittman as your coach, you expect, if nothing else, your O line's going to play great because he's an O line guy. He can coach and he can recruit an offensive line. Man, they look bad out there.
Yeah, their
And
tackles were
I
getting
mean,
embarrassed.
you've seen players on that line play previous years and look really good, and just all of a sudden this year it's not coming together.
Yep. Yep. No doubt. No doubt. I will say they probably are the best 2-win team in the country, though.
Well, people were saying that about Nebraska a couple of years ago. Whenever they were 4 wins,
That's
not
true.
much changes.
That's true. Very true. North Carolina gets 10-point win over Miami, so a good win there. Me and Jackie Boy talked about this on Saturday. We thought this Louisville game could be a trap game, just because they came off a good win against Notre Dame, and I think they have Duke next week. So
Yeah.
this could be a good look ahead spot. It's at a Pitt team that's a salty team, and they go out and get absolutely blown out 38-21. So big win for Pitt there. Bad loss for Louisville though.
Definitely.
Oregon State continues to roll. Good win against UCLA at home.
If you need a bet, just take Oregon State on the spread at anytime they're at home, and it's a lock.
Yeah, they're fantastic at
Tough
home.
place to play for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. NC State thought could be another upset game. Duke comes out and takes it to them with Duke's quarterback being hurt. A&M Tennessee was very close. I want to say A&M led most of that game. Tennessee finds a way to pull it through though.
I think there was like a kick return to like win the game for Tennessee or something along those lines, just from what I've heard.
I think you're right. I think it was a punt return. But yeah,
And old Jimbo's seat is real hot.
Jimbo's seat needs to be hot. Jimbo needs to be out of there.
Yeah, he needs to be gone though.
He has been,
That's all anybody down here talks about is how much he needs to go.
yep, yep, definitely can see that happening soon. Arizona, I I didn't expect that, but this Fafita kid, is
Yeah.
really good. He's really good, man. They beat
Yeah,
Washington.
I feel like Arizona's been competitive in a lot of these games. Like you knew it was going to happen eventually with the pack. There's,
I didn't expect them to go to Pullman and hang 44 on
yeah,
Wazoo. Just did not see that happening. And Wazoo only put up 6 points. Did not see that one. LSU gets a good
whole
win.
future Big 12 there.
Oh yeah, with Washington State. Yep, for sure. For sure. LSU good win over Auburn. Oklahoma State with an upset over Kansas. I, Oklahoma State's probably one of the most confusing teams in the country. They were horrendous to start the year, and then now they're decent. I don't understand, but good for
Team,
them getting a good win.
a team not to bet on.
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or stay away from.
Yeah. Keep them
Uh
off your butt.
Missouri beats Kentucky at Kentucky. Good win for the old Missouri Tigers there. And Rutgers plays probably the closest game. I mean, damn, man. Like you're supposed to beat the bad teams. And Michigan State is a bad team. So when I bet on you, you cover or you win
Yeah.
by 3, you fucks. So Rutgers is going on the list of not touching for George. Any other games that y'all saw that you liked this week?
That Florida South Carolina game was good.
Tight one. 41-39 there, Florida.
TCU beat blowing out BYU. I didn't expect.
Didn't expect that one either.
did y'all
Uh,
catch that Boise game, blowing that against Colorado State?
I did not see that. What happened there?
that.
Boise's running back ran for
Oh,
like a buck 50 in the first quarter, and I mean he ended up with like almost 300 yards of total offense. But my God, anybody else on that team just did not show up.
dude, it was 30-14 with like 6 minutes left, and Colorado
Yeah,
State.
no,
That's a good win for Colorado State too.
Yeah, it is.
definitely.
Air
And
Force.
I'm
Go ahead.
thinking Air Force might be the Group of Five team this year.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Jack mentioned that because we had talked about Wyoming last week being the team that if they win out, they could get a New Year's Six bowl. But
Hmm.
yeah, it looks like Air Force is that team. So big win.
What's
Won't that
the
be something?
what's the New Year's Six uh Group of Five bowl this year? Is it the Fiesta or something? I guess the old Air Force and the Fiesta Bowl. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because
I feel like it's either Fiesta or Peach. It's always just one of those two.
in the
Yeah, it was the year Memphis played Penn State. It was the Cotton.
the semis
It's been the
this year
a
are
couple times.
Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl for the semis, right?
Yeah, that's the playoff ones.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
then
what
the
the non-power
national
five.
championship in Houston. It's down there with old Jaster.
Yeah,
Ain't that the truth? Hey, I
yeah,
don't even want to look at tickets. My God, if ALCS tickets cost me as much as they did. A national championship ticket, oh my God.
yeah. But
I know you got some shit on the Houston radio stations or something, giving away some free tickets. You know, be the first caller.
Dude, I'm not winning shit on being the first caller.
the key with that though is to get them early before the teams are announced because once the teams are announced, good fucking luck.
Oh, all their fans are gonna jump to it.
Swarm.
Yeah,
This week, game of the week's got to be Ohio State, Penn State. Fox game day I think is there.
yeah, for
Another
game day.
11 o'clock kickoff for game day. That'll be a good one. Penn State at Ohio State. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
seeing State win that game. Mississippi State goes to Arkansas. That could be a good one.
Arkansas will get back on track there. They'll win that game.
If they don't win that game, they're not winning an SEC game. That's for sure.
Yeah, State is not good.
Air Force at Navy could kind of be a trap game for Air Force. Got to go across the country, go over to Annapolis, play against another military
Yeah.
school. But I'd expect our
But
Air Force to roll.
you say trap game. I feel like they take the military games, that Armed Forces trophy, real
Yeah,
serious.
True,
yeah.
they haven't lost in a long time. 10.5 point favorites there for Air Force.
On the road. Ooh.
A big number against a team that doesn't like to give up points.
Exactly.
Oregon, Washington State, that could be a good test for Oregon there too. Bama, Tennessee is probably gonna be a really good one as well. Good old
I needed the
that,
upset. Yes.
that is a classic CBS 2:30 kickoff game if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Tennessee,
I
Alabama.
think Saban will have those boys ready. After what happened last year and how bad they looked this past week, this is a get right week for Bama if I've ever seen one.
I definitely agree with that.
Throw what's his name? The CBS fell on there for a little announcement.
What is
What was
his
it? It's an L or a V. Oh, come on. You gotta know
Vern
this.
Lundquist. Vern
Vern
Lundquist.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit the initials there.
Yeah, you're the real reason I got there. Um Texas goes to Houston. Josh, do you think your Cougs can pull that off?
No shot in hell. People are saying trap game, and I read like an article earlier from like a Texas fan page saying like, oh, Houston has like one glaring like issue on the team, and I'm sitting there thinking, one, dude, this team is not good. They are not beating Texas. Texas can come in unprepared, and they will. As someone who has played at TDECU Stadium in a high school playoff game and been in the visitors' locker room, knowing Texas will be in there, they're gonna wipe the floor with these guys. They're putting them in the basically Arkansas Tech's locker room. Like,
It's that bad of an away locker room.
not for a fairly new stadium, that thing is tiny. We could barely fit 75 high school kids in there.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
Texas Tech at BYU. Is that a Big 12 game? Am I crazy?
that is a Big 12 game.
Wow, that'll be a good one. TCU at Kansas State could be
There's
another.
only non
You said what?
I said BYU was the only non-American AAC team to join the Big 12 last year, right?
Yes, I think
Yep.
you are. Coastal goes to Arkansas State. I might actually have some interest in that one, betting purpose wise.
Coastal will absolutely destroy them.
I don't know. Coastal lost last week.
Arkansas State's bad.
Isn't Arkansas State been like on a tear lately?
They had won 4 in a row and then they lost to Southern Miss.
They played the
Yeah.
worst teams. No, they didn't lose to Southern Miss.
Who did they lose to?
They, I don't know. I can't, like Troy
South
or something.
Alabama?
Troy.
Yeah.
Troy.
They played the worst teams on the planet. They played like UMass.
Yeah, they did play UMass at UMass though. That's a good win to go up to the old state of Massachusetts. I can't make an excuse for that one. Yeah, they got.
Yeah, come on, Stony Brook.
They beat Southern Miss though. God
That's
damn.
yeah. Southern Miss is terrible.
73-0 and 37. They gave up 110 points and scored 3 points in 2 weeks of football. That is horrendous. Okay, maybe
Any
I won't look at that game.
beat
I
the
don't-
piss out of it.
I don't think I'm gonna look at that game.
No.
Duke at Florida
Ole
State.
Miss. Ole Miss scares me. Where is it?
Who are they playing?
Auburn. It's right there. You passed it.
It's right there at the
Oh,
bottom.
right. Nice. At Auburn, yeah.
I'm frightened, but they did
Could
just
be a
get.
big game for Hugh Freeze.
True.
Yeah.
But
He's been back. He's been in an Ole Miss game once already when he was at Liberty, which was a little different. But
didn't Auburn just lose to LSU by 30?
yeah, by a lot.
Yeah.
So hopefully their fans are dejected and have no energy in Jordan Hare this weekend.
That'll be
I don't know. Jordan Hare always seems to be rocking.
Yeah, we
Special
don't.
things happen in that place.
Sad.
Michigan at Michigan State. That's gonna be a blowout. Duke, okay. I do this every week. I call a game and it's gonna be a blowout, and the other team either makes it close or outright wins. So, you know what? Bet Michigan State then. Call me the Trent Ayala or whatever his name is of bet.
Do not bet Michigan State. Michigan
bad
has been
advice.
on a mission this year.
Cold
Everybody
take.
was saying, "Oh, whenever they play Nebraska, okay, Nebraska could surprise them." No, do not play with Michigan. Michigan, they look legit. They look like they learned from last year's college football playoff.
That could be
I'm going to leave it at that.
They could be a sneaky good team in the playoff too. They'll probably end up getting the 2 seed because I don't see them losing to Ohio State. I mean, if they beat Ohio State, hell, you might even see them bump up to the 1 over.
If
Over,
Ohio State beats Penn State, I think if Michigan beats them, they have to be. Just because at that point, Ohio State's got to be 3. 2 beats 3, you got to move up.
yep, for sure.
It hasn't been like Michigan has looked bad in any games. Like Georgia hasn't looked great in some games, especially with Brock Bowers out now.
It's true.
I could definitely see Michigan taking that 1 spot.
Is he done for the year? Do we know? I know there's talks of it.
So I would assume so.
I think he just got it cleaned because it's supposedly just an ankle roll, and he got it. It was one of those preemptive things to make sure he's all good for the future. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, those surgeries only last 4 to 5 weeks.
Huh.
So,
Like maybe I was thinking for the SEC championship game, maybe the playoff.
And honestly, that might be rushing him back. Yeah, playoff would probably be more likely if he wants to come back. So, yeah, that's a big hole for them to fill there.
I hope he's out on November 11th when Ole Miss goes there. Because otherwise, we're gonna have our hands full.
Utah at USC, one school that doesn't like to score points, one school that typically does like to score points. So, might get I don't know. Maybe the under is a play there. Who knows? Arizona State at Washington is a good one. UCLA at Stanford, I don't care about. Yeah. Let's go look at some D2 scores from last week, shall we? What was last week? Was last week the 14th? No,
Yes.
last 12.
Yes.
14th was Saturday.
Let's go look at the GAC scores on the 14th. Yeah, you were correct. My bad.
All's out. Get it.
Okay, so Arkansas Tech gets a massive win over Monticello. Massive win.
Shout out the
Huge,
boys.
That's
huge.
that's huge. Yeah, huge. That is massive.
2017.
Yeah,
2017, last time they beat that Arkansas school.
I never beat an Arkansas school in my entire time there. So that's a massive win. And to see Ship afterwards and one for it to be an Arkansas school, but two for it to be Monticello, that's a massive win for him. So kudos to him.
Oh
Kudos
yeah.
to the guys going out there and balling, playing really well. Defense flew around, played really well. Offense drove the ball and put points on the board. That's all you can ask for there. So big win for them.
All those bad losses that we took to Monticello during those years too, to just finally see it not happen.
Yep. Massive. Massive. Harding. Harding came out and stomped Watchtower. I think that's a statement win for them. They have been putting up points like crazy too. 41 points against a Watchtower defense. You're not supposed to be able to do that. So that's a
Nope.
huge win for them as well. I think that's a statement win for them. I, I'm very I don't think their defense is as good as it has been in the past, but I did not see 41 points coming out of Harding. That's that's a big win,
Yeah.
especially for two teams that I think will end up making the playoff from our region.
And Washita was putting up points like crazy against everybody else, but 10? Who?
Hmm. Yep. And
Washington
again,
have making it after a loss like that.
I'd imagine they still will because they'll be our region is stacked with all the MIAA schools, but I mean they'll be the four or the five. I mean, they'll probably be the five or the six seed if they get in. Um,
Yeah.
we'll see though. We'll talk about that for down the. We might look at that next week or something just to throw that out there for the playoff seedings.
Yeah.
Southern Arkansas goes to Henderson and beats them on homecoming 35-34. Huge win for SAU. SAU still has Harding left as well. I think that's going to be Harding's biggest challenge the rest of the year is SAU. Other than that, I don't see anything stopping Harding from winning out. But a good win, really good win for SAU at Henderson.
Some tight games
Definitely.
in the old GAC this week.
Very tight games. East Central goes to Northwest and does what you're supposed to do at Northwest. South,
Yeah, not that game. That game was not close.
no,
No,
no.
not the one.
Southeast goes to Naz, and I'm fairly certain I had picked Naz last week. So sorry, Naz. Looks like you're still a little bro in the state, but yeah, 20 to 19 there for Southeast beating Naz in a close one. And then Oklahoma Baptist only beating Southwest by a touchdown. Southwest is playing a lot of people really close, but they just can't seem to get a win there.
That's always been their MO though. Like what was that? 2 years ago when they were 0-9 going into the game against us, they had maybe lost other than the Washington and Harding ass whoopings that everybody took. Like, I mean, they played every team close.
Yep,
They
yep,
played us really fucking close.
very true. Let me flip over to MIAA real quick. We'll run through these. Central Oklahoma does what you're supposed to do to Lincoln, 59-17. Emporia beats Washburn 38-25. Good win for Emporia. Another solid win for them making their case. They'll be a playoff team as well. Fort Hays beats Kearney there. Pitt State goes to Little Brother Missouri Southern and beats them 31-21. Good win for Pitt State on the road there. And then Missouri Western, I think I called this one last week. Northwest Missouri beats Missouri Western 27-23.
Mm.
Just to reassure their dominance there. And gosh damn it, wouldn't you know it? I said 63-14 for the Central Missouri Northeast game. 63-24. Those bastards Riverhawks scored 10 more points than I was expecting. And Central Missouri didn't hang 70 like we were thinking. So good for them. We'll look at next week's games in the MIAA real quick. And then we'll look at the top 25 after we look at the GAC if the computer allows it.
It's
There
not
we
like. Oh, there it goes.
it's not like being on the hot spot here. Missouri Western goes to Kearney. Fort Hays goes to Washburn. Emporia UCM is a big MIAA game. I would expect
That'll be exciting.
a lot of offense there. Emporia runs that quick tempo. UCM's got the leading quarterback in all of football. when it comes to yardage and passing touchdowns. I want to say he has 30 passing touchdowns already.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous. Missouri Southern gets a chance to go get them an easy win at Lincoln. Pitt State goes to Northwest Missouri, and Central Oklahoma gets to show Northeast who's the little bro in the state.
You got any dogs there, George? Any dogs this week? Can Northwest Missouri do it to Pitt State?
It's funny you bring that game up. That's going to be a bloodbath. I don't think they can do it. I don't think Northwest is very good this year. It's going to be close. I'd imagine it's a field goal game there, but I think Pitt State
Still a
pulls it
tough
out.
place to play for sure.
No doubt. Maryville, Missouri is a tough one. And I know Emporia State's ranked higher than UCM. I don't know if these are updated with UCM losing last week. I'd imagine Emporia beats Central Missouri, even though it's at Central Missouri, but that'll be a really good game too. As far as upsets, I mean that's all I really see there. Again, Northwest Missouri keeps it close, but I don't think they beat them. And look at the
On
GA.
to the Jack.
So Washington Baptist dropped 8 spots after their loss. They get a little rebound game against Arkansas Tech this week. Henderson State plays at Monticello. Naz goes to East Central. I think that's another winnable game for Naz, honestly. I think East Central is a little bit down, so I
I think
think
they're going to have to win that if they want to be bowl eligible.
that's true. That's true. Who'd they just lose to last week? Southeast? Yeah,
Southeast.
they need a big win there at East Central to, one, potentially make them bowl eligible, and two, to make their case for the best team in Oklahoma, which Oklahoma Baptist had run for a while, but they're just not very good this year. Southwest goes to Southeast. So we got the Battle of the South there. That's just not, yeah.
Civil War.
Harding goes to SAU. That's a big one. I will circle that
Game
one.
of the week for sure.
Fun fact too, it's not going to be at SAU. It's that stupid Murphy Oil Classic.
Oh gosh.
I am so
Oh,
happy that Harding has to run that damn triple option on that damn
on the wood
chips they got there.
Like, who thought it was a good idea to put wood chips instead of the black beads, like the black rubber pellets? Like,
It does cool down the field a little bit, I think.
I don't give a damn about cool. Fuck it,
Jack
bro.
saying that first play comes in and I got to go cut. I'm thinking, yeah, no, that ain't happening. I'll reach this guy. I'm not cutting.
I'm not getting splinters in my knees.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, hey Harding, take your leggings. Like,
they're gonna be looking like me out there.
Yeah, so Harding at SAU could be. I think that's gonna be a really good game. I believe that'll be a tight one. Don't know about an upset, but I think that could be a really tight one. Northwest goes to Oklahoma Baptist. Yeah, that's that's gonna happen, I guess.
That's it.
That
They don't have to drive as far to get their ass whooped this week.
That game's happening.
These directional schools in Arkansas, except for Southeast, are just so bad. So
In Oklahoma.
yeah, I mean Southwest is horrible and Northwest is worse. Southwest is going to get a win this year, and it's going to come in the last week of the season, and it's going to be because they played Northwest. So
I feel like they used to have like one team a year that would be good. Like East Central used to be good every once in a while. Oklahoma Baptist would be good. Now it's just like I don't see anyone on there that's a good team.
a very, very down year for the state of Oklahoma in D2 football. UCO is
Now,
not
George,
very,
I want to get your opinion on this.
yeah, go for it.
Northwest versus Northeast, who wins?
Wow. I go north. I go Northeast, and I don't think it's close. I think Northeast hangs. I think Northeast hangs 35 on Northwest, and I don't know that Northwest scores against Northeast.
Okay, no, I definitely thought that Northeast would score like plenty of points on Northwest. I just have no idea what Northeast's defense was about.
Yeah, Northeast is take it with a grain of
Playing
salt.
the MIAA, it's always just different.
Well, and they gave
It's
up
just
they gave
better
up
competition.
63. They gave up 63 last week to the best offense in D2 football. They're a better team than they're a better team than I like to give them credit for. But I think if it came down to it, I mean Northeast is dogging Northwest there. Northwest has to be one of the bottom barrel D2 football teams this year.
I
And
agree.
that's saying
Absolutely.
something because the Northeast D2 football teams, some of the teams up there are fucking terrible. Like really bad. Jack, what was that team that you go in our messages and look up what that team was? The one
York.
York. Oh, I have
They're,
their schedule. I have it pulled up.
somebody posted like the top 40 biggest blowouts in either all of college football or D2 football this year, and York was on there 4 times.
Okay, so let's go through York. York is in Canada, I believe. They're in Waterloo, Ontario. Um,
Mm.
they played the Western Mustangs, another Canadian team. Lost 83 to nothing week 1. Tough loss. Unlucky. Came back, played the Waterloo Warriors, lost 53 to 32. Hey, we scored. No big deal. Came back the next week, played the McMaster Marauders. I think we're making up
It's gonna
names.
be a joke.
I
That's
think
what it sounds like.
I think we're
How are they
making up names.
fielding? How are they fielding a team with that name?
I don't know, but the Marauders took it to them 71 nothing. Um,
Oh my gosh!
the next team they played was the Carleton Ravens. 52 to nothing loss there. Then they played the Guelph Griffins. They lost 88 to 7. So
Guelph.
These just sound like some of Cade's schools that he's playing out there in South Carolina.
some of his high school teams he's playing. So 88 to 7 to Guelph is bad. They came back the next week against Queens Gales. They lost 87 to nothing. So that is 175 points in 2 weeks, and they scored 7. That's just
Dude.
bad. And then they lost last week to Toronto Varsity Blues 57 to 3. So giving up a lot of points, not scoring many points. York University, you are the
Not a good
worst
combo.
football team. You are the worst football team I've ever seen in my life. Um, that's horrible. They'll never win a game ever. That's bad, so bad. Let's take us a look see at the top 25. I'm glad we got that out. I completely forgot about that. Let's look at the games from last week real quick. Colorado Mines is the best team in D2 football, and you can't change my opinion there. I think Colorado Mines should be the favorite to win the national championship this year. They got a very, very good team. Played South Dakota Mines a little bit closer. Me and my buddy who went to South Dakota Mines um, talked about that. We thought the spread should be 40. So South Dakota Mines covers. But in an interesting story, on the drive back from Colorado Mines, South Dakota Mines bus actually caught on fire and burned to the ground. So they're gonna be looking for some equipment.
For
Yeah.
anybody out there that is like has no idea what D2 football is like, that perfectly describes it.
Yeah, so they had to put the team on one bus and drive back, but yeah, they're gonna be looking for some shoulder pads, some cleats, all that good stuff because that bus literally burned to the ground. Delta State gets a good win against North Greenville. Again, we were talking about that last week. Delta's got a tune-up that week, and then they play I want to say West Florida next.
Yeah.
So big one coming up there. Emporia got a good win. We talked about that. Slippery Rock beats Gannon 49 to 24. I thought Slippery Rock would put up more points, but they didn't. And I said Colorado Mines is the best team in college football or in D2 football. This is why Grand Valley goes out and beats Ferris by 21 points. Did not expect that one looking at the games last week. Grand Valley's got some really freaking good athletes, but man, I didn't expect 21 points against Ferris. What's y'all's opinion on that?
Yeah, I didn't see. Whenever we looked at that when I was over there with you this weekend, I did not expect to see that score. 21 points is a lot, and Ferris has ran Division II football for 2 or 3 years now.
Yep.
I knew Ferris lost their quarterback from last year, and I expected a bit of a fall off, but man, If you would have said they lost at Grand Valley, okay, they lost on like the last second field goal. 21 points. That's a changing of the guard type feel to it.
No doubt.
Yep.
That's a statement.
No doubt. Definitely agree with that. And it's funny too. Our games of the week that we thought would be the best games end up being blowouts. I mean, 21 points from Grand Valley, 31 points from Harding on watch against Wachita. So, two real big, like Jasper was saying, statement games there. Games
Yeah.
that are really gonna, change this landscape of D2 football this coming season. So, Lenore Ryan beats Barton. Shepherd beats Millersville pretty handily. Minnesota State beats Western Oregon. Pitt State, we talked about, handled business. Missouri Western ends up losing to Northwest in a big game for Northwest. UCM beats Northeast. We talked about that one as well. Angelo State does go down to Kingsville and beat them 38-16. Good win for them.
I
Indy,
think Angela State will surprise quite a bit of people. They know kids on both teams, and man, I thought Kingsville was going to be legit this year, and Angela State just pushed them right back down to being little brother again.
yeah, for sure. And Angelo's always got a real salty little squad out there, so good win for them. I think their biggest test, if it hasn't happened yet, is what? How am I getting Fubo ads? Um, their big, their biggest test, I think, is next week. Yep, UTPB.
Yep.
That'll be a massive game for them. Massive game.
At home though, that always helps.
Yeah, being in Angelo is going to be nice for them. Being in Angelo is going to be nice. Another battle of top 25 teams. Indy comes out on top against Truman. Again, 21-point win there. Virginia State beat Bluefield State. Virginia Union beat Bowie State pretty handily, 52-3. My goodness. That's a Bowie State team that's usually pretty competitive too. So big win for Virginia Union. Davenport beat Wayne State 32-3. Bemidji beat Wayne's. Oh my God, what are we doing here? No shot. There's two Wayne States, and I just now realized it. Holy. So Davenport beat Wayne State in Michigan 32-3, and Bemidji State beat Wayne State, Nebraska 33-24.
No,
No way.
no, my West Florida pick is gone.
Yeah, they lose to West Al. Remember, we were talking about that being a tune-up game for this week's game, and they go out and slip up against West Al. So massive win for
6
West Al.
points. That's brutal.
That's tough. Very tough. Western Colorado beats Black Hills 35-20, and then Augustana beats Winona State 48-28. Let's look at next week's games, because next week's gonna have or this week, excuse me, it's gonna have some juicy matchups, I think. Westchester against Shepherd, Davenport against Mary. Fair State gets a chance to bounce back against a not very good Michigan Tech team. Grand Valley gets kind of a cakewalk with Northern Michigan. Slippery Rock gets California, PA. Virginia Union gets Lincoln, PA. Augustana versus Minnesota State. What a good one. Two teams that, Augustana, I want to say, was in a NAIA a couple years ago. Have just moved up to D2 and were very competitive at NAIA. But a very good D2 team against a historically very good team in Minnesota State.
I know Augustana's been like dominating almost every sport since they came up to D2.
Yep.
So to see them already up there and a real test for them this week, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no doubt. That'll be a big game for them. If they could pull that off, that'd be massive. Bemidji State gets Concordia St. Paul. Benedict gets Kentucky State. Ouachita Baptist gets Arkansas Tech. Indy gets Quincy. Truman State gets Wayne State. Ferris, or not Ferris, Emporia State gets UCM in a good one this week. I don't mind. I don't mind taking a nibble on Emporia State there. I think that could be a big game for them to go to UCM and win there. So don't mind that one bit. Colorado Mines goes to Black Hills. I mean, that's a long ass drive, and I hope it doesn't affect them, and I don't see it happening. Um, but yeah, Colorado
The
Mines,
fight.
they're the best team in football and D2 football. Pitt State goes to Northwest. We talked about that one a little bit. Harding goes to SAU. Talked about that one. Elizabeth City at Virginia State. New Mexico Highlands at Western Colorado. Here's another big one. This is probably my game of the week. West Florida at Delta. West Florida got caught looking ahead last week against West Al. Um, that's gonna be a really good game. I'll probably ride with the Ochre here, but man, that's a tough one to pick. That's a toss up.
Yeah, I got the Fighting Okra. That'll be a good game.
Lenore Rhine goes to Newberry. Newberry's I mean, they're good for an upset every now and then, so could be an interesting one there. And then UTPB goes to Angelo State. Jaster, what are you thinking here?
I mean, we saw what UTPB can do with the coaches they had at East Central, but I I think Angelo State still runs Texas Division II football, and they're going to come out of the Lone Star, and whether they make noise in the postseason or not, toss up in there, especially when you go to play the Gulf South and all that. But I think at Angelo, not having to make that drive out there to Odessa, just depressing place to be. Instead, you played at home. So I think Angelo has the edge there for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think PB is a year or two away from that changing of the guard. I think Angelo gets a massive win at home. Let's look at PB's schedule real quick. Gosh damn, I always forget. Oh, their stadium. Okay, their enrollment's 7,000. Yeah, 96 points. Their offense is going to put up points, man.
Mm-hmm.
West Texas, they beat in overtime. They beat Kingsville too, and Kingsville was ranked back then. Good win against Midwest. Yeah, I mean they're a good team. That Western Colorado loss is kind of a head scratcher, but to go all the way to Western Colorado and have to play them, not making it.
Early in the year too.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
excuse for losing that one, but it happens. So yeah, I mean, good to see them back in the polls. But yeah, this is a massive game for them. Could be a program defining win for them if they get it. But that's all our D2 scores. I'll stop sharing real quick. Um, anything else y'all want to touch on real quick before we
Damn good going on in Jacksonville, Alabama right now.
you said what's going
17-7, 2 minutes left with the old Western Kentucky Hilltop.
Hilltoppers. Who's playing there? You said that's Jacksonville State?
Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky, yeah.
Um
Oh, I got a good question to close us out here.
I
If you
hope
could
it.
be any animal, what would you?
Ooh.
I already have my answer locked.
Hit us with yours and then we'll go.
I'm being an eagle for sure. Easy access to food, not many predators. I can fly. I mean, how does it get any better than that? Nope.
Yeah, I mean
It's pretty good.
that is a good one. Josh, you
I
got
think I would have to go with a grizzly bear. You just go.
Ooh, I was gonna think you were gonna say polar bear.
Well, see, either or, just depends on the day. But I mean, you just go and you sleep for 4 or 5 months. Other than that,
Yep,
just go out there and be scary. That one really fucks
pretty
with
good.
you.
A good one. I like that.
grizzly bear.
George.
I don't know, man. Lion's always the stereotypical answer, but fuck, you mentioned eagle, and that sounds damn good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give
Lions have to have too much hunting. They're only like successful like 10% of the time on their hunts.
give me
Too much work.
give me a hippopotamus. It's a random
Oh,
answer,
good one.
but
You wanna
that's a fun one.
you wanna be able to swing your tail around and fling your shit everywhere?
Yeah, bro. I mean, you can damn near walk on the bottom of fucking lakes and shit, and then you come
Yeah,
up and you're like, "Hey, I'll bite you in half." By the way,
yeah, with your whack ass teeth.
yeah, with the weird ass jaw, but like the crazy bite force there.
I like that one. It was good. Good choice, George.
Hippopotamus.
George wants to be like Moto Moto from Madagascar.
That's what he does to his girlfriend when he gets
Fuck,
out of the
fuck me, guys. Fuck.
shower.
Let's wrap it up there. We appreciate y'all listening. Jaster, big thanks for coming on the pod. Really appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, listen, you're part of our journey, so we're glad that we could get your story out there and get it told. But yeah, big thanks to Jaster coming on the pod. Cade unfortunately wasn't with us. He had night practice and then he had to do laundry today. So tough for him. We'll get him back. Peasant, Jesus. But yeah, big shout out to him. Good luck, West Ashley, whoever y'all are playing this week. But yeah, really appreciate y'all. God bless. We'll see you next week. Stay safe. Have fun.
Yeah.
I gotta end it.